Okay, so here we go. Bending down. This is the 8th class, I think. So we're doing really well. I think most of you have been to every class as well. Well done. And again, bend. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring the arms through to the front, dropping the shoulders. Just take your right arm up without lifting the shoulder. Just follow the arm with the head a little bit. And down. And your left arm. And down. Okay, so let's just take the arms out to the side. And coming over. Try to drop the right shoulder. And center. And the other way. Okay, that's it. And center. Okay, now just take the arms back a bit so you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, obviously out of neutral here. But then take the arms up. As you take them up and drop the shoulders down, you should regain neutral. Okay, arms down. Okay, let's bend into a squat. Take the arms forward. Arms back. So the palms are facing the ceiling. Arms forward. Again, reach forward with the arms, but without lifting the shoulders. Okay, hands on the thighs and roll. All the way up. Head and shoulders up last. I'll do that again. I'm going to turn to the side this time so you can see me better. So again, squat. Try not to bring the knees forward of the ankles. Try and keep the weight distributed evenly through the sole of the foot. Arms back. Now try and get the head level with the pelvis. Palms facing the ceiling. And forwards. And again, go back. And forwards. And back. And forwards. So we're changing the orientation of the palms here, parallel here to each other, and back, parallel to the ceiling. Okay, hold it here. Okay, hands on the thighs, and roll. So all the way up. Try and get through every bit of your back here. Head and shoulders up last. Okay, so let's go back to having the arms out. Dropping the shoulders. Rotate. So keeping the left side of the hip facing the knee as you turn to your right. Inhale, exhale, try and go a bit further. So really squeeze. Good, and center. Other way. Keeping the right side of the hip facing front. further. Just get a little bit more out of this rotation in the back. And center. Good. Okay, arms down. Let's take the legs a bit wider. Now we're going to bend and center. Other way and bend and center. So only a little bend because I don't want to overshoot the ankle. And center. And left. And center. Okay, we're coming over. And center. And the other way. And center. Okay, over. And center. Last time left. Good. And center. Excellent. So let's bring the arms down here. Now let's bend a bit more, but you're going to have to push the pelvis backwards so you don't overshoot the ankles. And again with these squats, make sure you have your weight evenly distributed through the sole of the foot rather than being in the heel. Now again, you need to push backwards, so you're straightening the left leg. Otherwise, again, you're going to overshoot on that right knee and centre. So push backwards, straighten right. Keeping the hands off the kneecaps. Let's have them above. Or you can have the arms here and centre. Okay, and again, straightening left leg. And centre. Straightening right. Try and keep the back level. The head, same height as the pelvis, or thereabouts, and centre. Okay. Now let's just see if you can take the legs a bit wider. If you can't, don't worry, just stay there. You don't have to go much further. Okay, round the back down. Okay, head between the arms. Down. Okay, now straighten the legs as much as you can with the hands on the floor. Because you've got your weight going through your hands rather than through your knees here at full extension. Now again, just walk the feet in carefully, bending the knees, and let's just sit down on the floor. Now let's take the legs forward, keeping the knees slightly bent and facing the ceiling if you can. Take the arms out. And let's decline just a little bit, not as far as you could go in neutral, but just a couple of degrees off vertical. Tiny little decline backwards. Back stays in neutral. Now I want you to straighten your right leg. And down. And the left. And down. So back in neutral, tiny decline from vertical. Straighten your right leg. Then we're going to lift it up and lower. Now you're not letting the leg come back to the floor. Up and lower. Up and lower. Up and lower. and down. And the other leg. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower and bend. Okay, now you stay there. I'm going to turn to the side. You can see I've got back in neutral, slight decline. Neutral, a few degrees decline from vertical, dropping the shoulders. Extend right leg. So here we go. Up and down. Up. Avoid grounding the leg onto the floor. Okay, now bring it in and back. So you're coming into the other leg. Keep the knees straight. And in and back. And in and back. And down. So other leg. Again, come on, sit up out of here, out of the pelvis. Back in neutral, slight decline. Other leg, extend. So lift up and down. Up and down. Keep the legs straight and up. Okay, so coming in towards the other leg. Try not to roll from the hip. Keep the knee facing the ceiling. In and back. And in and back. And in and back. And down. Okay, now straighten the legs and just have a rest there. I'm just going to come back to the front where I was before. Okay, so you're going to go over your right shoulder, however you want to do it. Hands under the shoulders, into plank. Okay, now we're going to rock. Forward and back, forward, keeping the elbows slightly bent, so holding plank. You're not moving the hands or the feet, all you're doing is rocking onto the toes from the balls of the feet, forward and back, so a little bit faster, here we go, and back. Plank. Balls of the feet onto the toes. Elbows slightly bent. Two more. Last time. Into down dog. Now try and get the ears in between the arms. Now, knees down, release the feet, hands under the shoulders. And just make sure the knees are about 45 degrees to the hips, something like that. So in between here, and obviously being straight, bent. So just hover here And let's come all the way down. Okay, forehead on the backs of the hands. So let's lift the legs. And down. Now, when you're back on the floor here, tuck the pelvis under slightly so that the back flattens a little bit, and that will be prone neutral. So, lift the legs, up, extend the legs. Now when the legs come back down, regain neutral when they come to the floor, tuck under. And again. Tuck under. So lift. Down. On the down, regain neutral. Lift. Down. Tuck under. Okay, now lift them up, hold them there. Turn your knees outwards, bring the heels together, and then just lift up, up. Now the knees are doubtless going to bend a bit, but aim to get the knees as straight as you can. Keep the heels together, turning the knees outwards. Try not to lift the shoulders towards the ears. Keep flattening through the shoulder blades. Four to go, come on, lift. And rest. Well done. So just have a rest there. So again, let's just tuck under slightly and bring the arms wide, either side of the shoulders. So again, you haven't got that massive dip in the lower back. We've just tucked the pelvis under slightly, slight flattening out there. And the idea is to keep the back in the exact same position all the way up. So push down. Start with seated neutral, so just try and sit on the base of the pelvis. Okay, arms in front. Again, drop the shoulders down, try not to be up here somewhere. So C-roll, round the back out, tucking the pelvis under. And try and make this roll even all the way down. So arms overhead, forward of the ears. Lengthen the neck. Okay, so in this position when the knees are almost straight, just slightly up full lock, just just try and pull the lower back into the floor. Keep lengthening the neck. Arms out, palms facing the ceiling. Let's have the arms just lower than the shoulders. Keep pulling the lower back in towards the floor. Bring the arms up, get me just above the chest. Lengthen the neck. Okay, lift the top end. Take the arms back up, coming back down. Keep dropping the shoulders away from the ears, arms out. Again, just pull the lower back in towards the floor, tummy in towards the lower back. Okay, arms together, hands. Lift. Okay, arms up, keep the lift. Hand down. Arms out. Arms up, hold the lift, and down, arms out, in, keep pulling the tummy in towards the back, lift, hold the lift, arms up, keep dropping the shoulders. Down, arms out, one more time, in, try and take the full count, up, arms straight up, hold, arms out. Okay, and then bring them down onto the floor, palms facing down. Bend the knees, feet on the floor. Okay, now in this position, avoid flattening the lower back right into the floor, because if you do that, it'll overshoot neutral. It's the same position as you had when the legs were out straight. If you're not sure though, just make sure you can just about squeeze the fingers underneath the lower back. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to squeeze them underneath and touch the fingers into the middle. Okay, elbows down. Relies on you flattening the shoulder blades against the floor and neutral alignment in thoracic spine. Now pull the lower back into the fingers. The fingers there will stop you overshooting neutral. Straightening the legs. Let's have the legs together. Try not to arch the back away from the fingers. Okay, now what we're going to do is push down through the hands. Roll up. Keep the fingers where they are. Try and sit on the base of the pelvis at the top. Roll down. But great back mobility as well as using your core muscles. And again, roll up. Onto the base of the pelvis. And down, so hands aren't moving. Try going as slow as you can. Up, just make it controllable the way on the roll down over the 8 counts. Hold here at the top, in neutral. And roll. 3, 4, another 4 before you hit the ground. 6, 7, and down. Roll. On about 5, so we make sure we're in neutral at the top here. Inhale, exhale, come on, roll. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and down. Okay. Whew. Have a little breather there. So you just let the knees drop out to the side and just relax. So knees bent, feet on the floor. So when the fingers are here underneath the lower back, just squeeze the lower back into the fingers and take the hands away without squeezing the lower back into the floor. Keep that tiny gap. Pull the tummy in, arms down. Reach the fingers away from the ears. Bring the knees above the hips, feet level with knees so the shins are parallel to the ceiling. And let's take one leg forwards, just above the floor and in. And just make sure you're not arching the lower back away from the floor at the leg. And in. Push. In. One more time each side. Okay, now drop the heels in towards the back of the legs. Open from the hip. Feet down. Okay, now I'm going to roll over onto your right side, facing me. Okay, so the knees bent forward to the hips a bit as usual. Okay, so we want a nice line from the middle of the ear, through the shoulder and the hip. And then straightening left leg, hip height in line with the body. Now support the head, so you've got a nice line from the top of the head through to the back. Okay, let's lift the leg. Now keep the knee straight, so really lengthen the leg. Try not to turn out from the hip. And again, lift. Keep pulling the waist in, away from the floor. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Now, keeping the leg hip height, knee straight, rotate out. Okay, so you've rotated out from the hip. If you find this uncomfortable, then just avoid rotating out. You can keep the leg where it was. Push up and down, up, 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 up. Keep putting the waist in. Up, 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 up. 4 more. 4, 3. Getting a bit more here into external rotators. Okay, and then turn the leg back through so the side of the leg is back parallel to the ceiling. Now bend the top leg so that it's in line completely with the bottom leg. So both hips now at about a 30-odd degree angle. Right angles in the knees or thereabouts. Just hold it here a minute, pull the waist in, reach the hand down. You know it's going forward a little bit because the leg's forward. Okay, bring the knee into the chest. Try not to tuck the pelvis under. And back. And again. And back. So you're ending up the same place that you started. And back. And again, in, breathe. Back. In. Back. In. Back. And hold it there so it just lines up. Again with the bottom leg. Excellent. Okay, now bring both knees forward. So you're forward at the hip. Right angles in the knees and the hips. Okay, now lift the top leg straight up. Try and keep the foot level with the knee. And down. Now we're going to push back in line with the body. Bring it forwards. Line back up. Try not to tuck the pelvis under. So So again, we're going straight up. And down. And again, back. Left knee back in line with the body now. So let's come forwards. Again, check your alignments. Lift the top leg. And down. Push back. In line and lift. And breathe. Okay, now push it back. And just stay there this time. Keep putting the waist in. Lift the bottom leg. Try and have the foot level with the knee. Try not to have the foot up here somewhere. And down. And again, lift. And down. And again, lift. And down. And lift. And down. Okay, with the top leg back in line. Okay, bring it into the chest. Keep the right angle so you can see along the shin to the foot. Just. Okay, so hold it in here. And squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Push back. Line up. Okay, so again, so a nice long hold there into the chest. And again, squeeze, 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 and line back. Okay, make sure that the back's in neutral. And rest. Well done. So let's roll onto the back. Knees back, feet on the floor. So your left leg, your ankle above the right knee, bring the right leg in. Hold it down, I'm just going to switch through because I'm in mirror image, so the inside, otherwise I'll be uneven. Now inhale, as you exhale, just try and push the right leg a little bit further towards the chest. Try and keep the shin of the right leg parallel to the ceiling. Lengthen the neck. Okay, open out from the hip, right foot down, and left foot to join it. Okay, hands to the small of the back. Use the arms to push up, to sitting. Well done. Okay, legs wide. So let's just come forward. So just reverting back to back mobility. Sagittal plane. Also some stretches with the hamstrings and the inner thigh. Try and keep the knees straight and facing the ceiling. Try and relax into it a little bit more. Okay, coming up. Good, arms out. Over to your right. And center. Other way. Keeping the knees facing the ceiling. Good. Good. And up. Okay, rotate to your right. And center. And the other way. And center. Arms down. Okay, bring the legs through. Let's go this way this time. Hands under the shoulders. Knees under the hips. Hands in. Let's roll up. I did this the other week. Balance. Just lift the shins just off the floor. Make sure you're not tipping up and down onto the knee. Try and get nice and straight, yeah? Obviously, little dip in the lower back, neutral. Drop the shoulders down, away from the ears. Now hold that balance, pull the tummy in. Arms out. And forward. Arm up and down. Hold the balance, pull the tummy in. Other arm up. You can follow the arms we did before. And down. Okay, rotate to me. Hold the balance, shins just off the floor. And back. Dropping the shoulders. Good. Pull the tummy in. Other way. And back. Okay, so again, pull the tummy in. To me. And back. Other way. And back. Dropping the shoulders. Hold the balance. Good. Last time. Here. Drop the shoulders. Okay, shins down, arms down, hands forward into plank. Good. Elbows slightly bent. This time coming onto the elbows. Same as before. The rock forward. Rock, back, rock. No need to do it slowly this time. We prepped earlier of the full lever. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Knees down, release. Pelvis down, half cobra. Try not to sink into the shoulders. All the way down. Hands wide. Tuck the pelvis under into neutral. Keep the back where it is. Pushing down through the hands. Try not to move the back. Push up. Through cobra. Elbows come back into the body. Tuck under at the bottom, regain neutral. Okay, push. Through cobra. Okay, just hold it there at the bottom. Let's just make sure the back's in neutral. Okay, keep the back in that same position. Push up. Last time. Push. Okay, pelvis back. Nose and forehead down. Okay, hands in. Coming through this way. Carefully, in whatever way suits you, onto the base of the pelvis, arms in front. Sitting on the base of the pelvis here, and roll with control. Pull the lower back towards the floor in this position. Avoid moving the back anymore. Bend the knees, feet on the floor. Lengthen the neck. We're going to lift and cross either side. Inhale. Exhale. Lift, cross towards the outside of the leg. And down. Keep pulling the tummy in. Other side. Breathe out on the way across. In. Cross. Breathe out. Breathe in. Other side. In. Cross. One more time, each side, cross, Okay, arms down, rolling onto the left side facing me. And again, let's get the neck in line with the rest of the back, knees forward. Lining up, middle of the ear, shoulder, hip, and the knee and the ankle. Pull the waist in away from the floor. So we're starting with the straight lifts. So it lifts up. Keep the knee locked, knee facing me. Keep reaching down with the right hand so you don't drop into the shoulder. And down. And again. And down. And again. And down. Keep lengthening the leg. And again. Well done. And down. Now, as we did before, rotate out from the hip. If you can, if it's uncomfortable, then just keep the leg where it is. We're turning the knee out a bit towards the ceiling, keep the knee straight, and then we're just coming up, 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 up. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And roll the leg back through. And then bend the knee forward so it lines up with the bottom leg. Make sure you're not tucking the pelvis under. Try and mirror both legs. Bring the knee into the chest. And back to mirror the bottom leg again. Try not to tuck the pelvis under. Keep pulling the waist in. So the waist in away from the direction of the floor. Tummy in towards the back. That's right, well done. And back. Line up. And again in. And back. And in. And back. And in. And back. One more. And in. And back. Good. All right, bringing both knees forward. Lining up, right angles in the hips and the knees. Okay, lift up. Try not to roll through the hip this time. That will limit the range here. And back. Then push it back in line with the body. And forwards. So lifting up. Pushing back, in line with the body. And back. And lift. And lower. Pushing back, in line with the body. And forwards. Lift. And down. Push back. Hold it here this time. And then we're going to lift the bottom leg. Try not to lift the foot differently to the knee. Try and get them in line. And down. Keep breathing. Pull the tummy in. Lift the bottom leg. Lift. And down. Keep breathing. And again, so we're almost there. Again, lift. And bringing the top leg back. Again, line up. Right angles in the knees and the hips. Bring the knee into the chest. Keep the right angle in the knee. So we're pulsing in and release. In, release. In, 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 push back. Nice long hold here. Make sure you're not tucking the pelvis under, just push the pelvis out towards the back of the room. And again in, keep the right angle in the knee, should be able to see along the shin. So pulse, 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 pulse and back. Well done, and rest. Whew. So rolling onto the back, knees bent, feet on the floor. This time your right ankle above the left knee. Arms down. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. Okay, I'm just going to switch. Make sure I do both sides like you. Shin parallel to the ceiling. Inhale, as you exhale, try and just squeeze into the chest a little bit further. So getting some inner thigh here as well. Outer thigh. And then open out from the hip, foot down. Right foot down too. And let's have the hands to the small of the back, rolling up. Okay. Again, straddle. Don't forget, if you really can't get into this position, you can always come here. So, inhale. As you exhale, we're coming forward. Just relax into it. Use your breathing. Just go a little bit lower if you can. As you breathe out, try and keep the knees facing the ceiling rather. Your ceilings, respectively. And again, just relax. Try to go to the point where you can feel the stretch. So it's a bit uncomfortable, but not painful. Okay, let's roll up. Okay, bring the legs through. Feet down. Now, what we're going to do is try and straighten the knees here. If not, keep them slightly bent. Hands on the floor. Now, if you need to bend the knees, what I recommend you do is you bring your hands here. Okay. If you can get the arms down, you can straighten the knees out because the weight's going through the hands and not through the knee when it's extended and vulnerable when you've got the double effect here of body weight and gravity. So bend the knees, whichever position you're in, and roll up. Carefully, all the way through the back. Head and shoulders up last. Almost there, arms out. Coming over. Just finish off our little bit of back mobility. And centre. Rotate to the left, right side of the hip facing front. Coming back, coming over to your left frontal plane, so lateral flexion, whole spine. And through here, rotate to your right. The rotation, not lumbar spine here, which is why we're keeping the hips where they are. And centre. Great, good job. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just bend. Deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Arms all the way round and down. Okay, and up with the arms. Look up with them as we did before. Pull the tummy in, drop the shoulders. Arms out. Good alignment. Turn the arms through and all the way down. Well done.